Hello and welcome to Redmen TV. I am joined ahead of Liverpool Man City by Esteemed Kompany himself, Steven Mcinerney. Stay.
Paul,
We've got no choice but to think about this game. There's no escaping it now. It's going to happen one way or the other. We've got two big games coming up. I want to know.
speak for yourself, mate. We've got a lot of good games coming up at the moment.
Yeah, to be fair,
Sit and marry the derby as well, yeah.
Yeah, it's mad when you think about it. But I just want to know your thoughts and feelings on this one. Really, how are you? Because I think there's a bit of a narrative playing out at the moment that I wouldn't say City are an absolute shoo-in for the semis. I don't think it's that, but I do
No.
think City are being pegged as favourites, and I think that's understandable given the season
Yeah.
that you've had. But is there any pause for concern on your side of things?
Yeah, I mean, it's logical as well. Why, given the fact that you're the only team to beat us in the league this season. And I think I'm not sure if you see it this way, but it's certainly from the City perspective, Liverpool seem to definitely they raised their game against us at Anfield. It's the kind of one game that most City fans will say the same. We don't really look forward to playing. I don't know why. It just seems to be. It just becomes there's a layer of intensity that there isn't there in most games, even when it's at the Etihad as well. For you guys, it just seems to be different. Obviously, an all-English knockout round in the Champions League, it's just that added little bit of spice, isn't it? The press obviously go crazy with it. The hyperbole kicks into action.
Yeah.
People get there's just more attention to it when it's an all-English tie, and this one. I guess there's loads of little subplots going on as well in terms of Klopp and Guardiola, and then Salah and De Bruyne has been played off against each other. And then, given the fact that you were the only team to beat us this season in the league, of course. It's just a very spicy game, isn't it? There's a lot going on, and obviously there's proximity as well. You're not that far away around the corner, so it's going to be interesting.
I've got my feeling on this one is that I think this is the game that was primed as a tie, as a contest. I mean, between two teams, as a rivalry, should I say?
Yeah,
this has been primed to be a big thing for about 4 years now, and I think Liverpool falling off a cliff after 13-14 didn't help in any way, shape, or form. But I think it's fair to say, look, Man City are streets ahead, obviously domestically this season. But I think in terms of the brand of football that both teams play, I think that both teams play football in the same way, in the right way, so to speak. And I think in years gone by, it's been Liverpool-Chelsea in the mid-noughties, which were deep tactical battles. This just feels like it could be an incredible advert for the footy that both teams play.
I'd agree with that. I think most neutrals as well, they like watching these two teams play because it's the antithesis of the Mourinho kind of pragmatism, isn't it? It's two teams who actually want to score goals, and I think no one would begrudge anyone winning the tie if they play football in the way that they can play football. And I just genuinely hope whoever wins, obviously I want it to be City, obviously, but I'm hoping it's like the 4-3 games, that it is entertaining. It's not turgid, kind of like a tactical stalemate, because that would be dull. And I think it's an interesting point about the whole 13-14 things, because it does feel like there is like a blossoming rivalry almost in terms of the way the styles of football are clashing once again in a good way. And it's a once again, even though it's not a title chase, there is an important part of the season, a big kind of head-to-head rivalry is happening here. And given the fact that Liverpool will probably get better in the summer as well, Liverpool are the team, in my opinion, that are going to challenge City, alongside Chelsea maybe closest next season. And there is something there at the moment, isn't there? There is a little bit of you can sense it between the fans as well. You can sense it from the press. And it is nice to see two teams going this far that do play football the right way. And the right way is a contentious word.
Of course.
It's the way that we want to see it.
Well, listen, if we didn't play football this way, we wouldn't necessarily think this was the right way to play football. So you're right on that regard. But
football fans, they always know what's best, right?
Absolutely. So, everyone likes goals. That's the most important thing. How much you kind of referenced it. How much does the Man United game in between this, how does that impact it? Just from a fan's perspective, because look, we've got a Merseyside derby that weekend as well, and I cannot be arsed with that game. I don't care. Liverpool could put a team of reserves out for that if it gives us a better chance.
Yeah.
City don't have that luxury. I mean, look, you'll just win the title next week if you don't beat Man United, of course, but surely there must be something, because you've lived with it. You've had to live with Man United fans being pricks for 30 years.
Oh, tell me about it, mate.
There's got to be something there where you do just think, just go and do it. Go and beat them and lift it in front of them.
I do want them to hurt. I'm not going to lie. I really want to hurt. But Pep's already making noises, and he's been hinting at it that he is actually going to rest some players. They're like the Liverpool tie is priority. And that's crazy, isn't it? We could win the league against United at the Etihad at home. And you got to bear in mind, these had a banner for God knows how many years up, mocking us. So this would be so sweet to stick it down their throat. But Pep, I think, is actually going to change it. When I say rest players, it'll be Bernardo Silva and Gundogan. It's not going to be like he's putting Phil Foden in. It's not going to be, and it'll be Danilo or something like that. But I think De Bruyne will probably still play in Silva and so on. But he will make changes, and he won't be our recognised strongest 11, which is strange. And I think logically he's probably right, because we're going to win the league. It's just we'd have to be, managed by Alan Pardew or something like that to mess it up, and I don't think we are going to be. So it does have an impact, but I think because it has an impact, we're actually going to take our eye off it a little bit. I think that's what's going to happen, because this is the only thing that currently, I guess, technically matters in terms of competitiveness. And I don't like it. I want us to play the strongest team against United. I want us to beat United, win the league, because I want to see Mourinho's face more than anything. I want to see him have to shake Guardiola's hand there on the pitch, but I understand it. You have to be practical, don't you, sometimes? And I got a feeling he will rest one or two. It depends entirely on what happens at Anfield as well. I mean, if I touch wood as a City fan, if we grab a couple of goals, away goals, and say it went really well for us and it was 3-1 away from home, then I think we'd see a different story. Unless if we won 3-1 or we lose 3-1 or whatever.
Sure. Does Man City's team pick itself for this game?
At the moment, I would say, Edison in goal, Kyle Walker. Then I think it'll be Kompany, Otamendi. I think their Kompany's just had this kind of Easter-esque resurrection at the moment. He's back from the dead, and Otamendi alongside him seems to be the preferred choice. There's a left back where I'm not sure. It depends if Delph's fit. Laporte played there the other day as well, and he was pretty decent. Right. It could be any one of about 4 players there, depending on who's fit. Mendy is too soon for. Then, in my opinion, the midfield three is just comparable at the moment. De Bruyne, Silva, Fernandinho, and then I think the worst thing he could do not do for Raheem Sterling is not play him. And I think Pep will understand that if he doesn't play him, it's a concession that they've won. Like the Liverpool fans have won and got to you. And I think he'll play him just because he won't want to give in to the pressure.
But he's got to perform against us eventually, hasn't he?
Exactly, yeah. And I think basically, if he doesn't play him, he's saying, "Oh yeah, I don't really trust you when they go and get stuff at Anfield." And I think he'll be aware of what the message they'll send. So I think he'll play him, and then Sane, and then it's just Aguero if he's fit, or Jesus, So I think the team is pretty obvious, really. And I think Pep knows what he's going to do there, and I think it'll be something like that.
Okay, Sam. Well, come on, give me a score prediction. What do you think it's going to be? Terrible, isn't it?
This is the bit where I get comments about being a scruffy mank bastard because of prediction. But I reckon, I don't think Pep will make the same mistake twice. That's the thing, is I think he's a learner. And I think we'll be a little bit tighter, and I think we'll have David Silva playing, which is a huge, huge thing for us. And when David Silva, Fernandinho, De Bruyne, Touchwood all play together, we don't lose these days. We just don't. I think it's something like 26 games unbeaten with them all together. I'm going to go for a decent 2-2 away draw, and I'll take that at the moment. I think that would be good for us. Amazing. Dare I ask your prediction?
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, what I've gone with is that I think we'll go to the Etihad game with people thinking the tie's done in City's favour.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, not to say Liverpool won't win or whatever, but I think even if Liverpool only take a goal lead in, I think people will think, oh, that's enough because of the result at the Etihad earlier in the season, or, circumstances notwithstanding. And I'm quietly confident about going to your place just because I think, just because how good we are on the counter. But be very interesting to see, certainly. Listen, mate, thanks very much for joining us. I'll be doing something over on your channel as well, so people do go and check that out. Make sure you subscribe to Esteemed Kompany. Drop a like on the video if you think Liverpool can do this. Other than that, see everyone soon. Ta-ra.